Oh, that's right. I am right here with you this morning, and I just wanted to see if you caught that little bit of silence that we had there. A moment of silence as I talked to myself. So, I think I might need a wee bit more sleep, Ann. I think that might be it. But anyways, hey, good morning. We are here this morning. We got a lot to talk about, and let's see. We've got all kinds of things, everything from the South Korean workers working at that Georgia Hyundai plant. Over 300 of them were illegals that were working in that plant. They're being shipped back. They're not being illegally shipped back. South Korea is actually sending a plane for them. So that's pretty interesting, don't you think? There were, I think, about 417, if I remember correctly, reading this story. But over 300 will be returning to South Korea. Didn't you just see them on the plane? They're all sitting there going, tee, and we had them fooled. We had them. We were there for a good while, and we had a good time over there. Did you ever see the food that they eat over here? I got to tell you a story. Back many, many moons a day, when Anne was actually quite successful and a very I employed about 100 people, had about 10 stores, may have been more than 100, but I was just trying to figure. We used to import baskets and had quite an operation. We supplied all these 10 stores all across the Carolinas with baskets and accessories and everything. And this was back in the 1970s, yes, the 1970s, when, putting baskets on the wall for decor and using baskets and pretty baskets were really, really popular. Actually, World Bazaar was a growing business then, and they tried to take over us, but in the end, I didn't say, I'm not going to become part of your organization. Gosh darn it, I won't do it. Boy, that was stupid on my part. Anyways, what the story I was going to tell you is that people would ask me where all these baskets came from. And I would tell them, because we had a huge warehouse building, and it was actually like it had been a haberdashery store, a big one, and they had a big full basement. Then they had the first floor for people to be able to shop, and then on the second half floor, in fact, you could stand there and look down over the floor. You could see what was going on, and that was kind of a standard way that they built stores back in the day. All right, so it was a very cool place. So I would tell people, as I traveled around and talking about the baskets and this type of thing, I would tell people, they'd ask me, where do the baskets come from, Anne? And I, as a joke, you know me, I got a gift for gab. I said, well, we keep them in the basement. They work very, very hard. And we make sure they only get a bowl of rice. We don't let them out, because if you let them out, they never come back. So we just keep them in the basement. And I had this whole story and the more I talked about it, the more it expanded. Well, I didn't think anything about it. I thought everybody knew I was joking. Well, not immigration. They didn't know I was joking. I was out of town. All of a sudden, I get a frantic call from my staff saying, oh my God, Ed, there are people here, immigration's here, ICE is here. They're looking for the Chinese in the basement. I was like, excuse me? Yes, it's true. ICE came and tossed our place looking for those Chinese immigrants that we had working in the basement. We never had them working in the basement. But my story was so convincing, they believed me. And that was a long time ago. So Anyways, back to my story about the Hyundai plant. I just can just imagine that these Chinese had been working there, or excuse me, South Koreans working in the Hyundai plant, and then of course they're adding the battery plant there too. But can't you just see them, and they didn't let them out. No, no, no. They didn't want them seen anywhere. No, no, no. So they probably had special housing. They fed them. They did all this kind of stuff. And then, of course, they'd go back to work the next day. So every time I see a story about something like this, it always harkens me back to the days of, what? ICE is there? Why? Yeah, it was an interesting time. It was an interesting time, one that I treasure the thoughts about, but at the time I was going, what? Anyways, but here we are, fast forward to 2025, the Hyundai plant, and they're saying they just brought him as training, and South Korea is so upset that we have this great relationship, that why would our country take these as detainees and this type of thing. This is what is happening across our country. We had become so lax in our laws and everything. Not like back in the 70s when somebody makes an innocent comment at a party telling people where the baskets come from, and a week later ICE shows up and wants to break down the doors and find the Chinese that we've had holed up in the bottom of this building making baskets and eating just a couple of bowls of rice every day. That was not true. They didn't take a chance. That was back in the 70s. Fast forward, 2023, 2024. Oh, what the heck? You got people coming in, who cares? Well, we care now, and I think that is a good thing. But and now, of course, they're in Chicago doing rounding up the criminals and everything there. I can't imagine what the election is going to look like in 2026. Yes, 2026. How will the election look? How will they be able to make this, how will the Democrats be able to say, and we fought against in the deporting people, immigrants. We made sure that we stood the line. We blew whistles. We exposed their faces. We did all this kind of stuff. How is this going to play out? And how is it going to play out 20 or 30 years from now, should our country still be around, as history reflects back on this? I think it's going to be most interesting. So anyways, that's that story there. Trump loses his bid to overturn the $83 million damages award to E. Jean Carroll. So that is still out there. Don't know where that'll be going. And Trump's war on wind has the construction crew stuck 15 miles out at sea. This is an interesting story. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but this is an interesting story from the standpoint of a nearly completed offshore wind project off New England has been halted by the federal government, leaving construction crews stranded, some reportedly living aboard ships 15 miles offshore. States and developers are now suing the administration, citing billions of sunk costs and serious impacts to the burgeoning clean energy industry. Again, this is off the coast. This is off the New England coast up there. So can you imagine being stuck there? How do we get back? Swim! I would think they could get boats out there to get them back. I'm not really sure about the whole story. Like I said, I'm not doing a deep dive on any of these today. The one bit, well, let's see. And the other thing I wanted to discuss, I don't know that much about this story, but let's see if I can find that one real quick. This is a story that, this is from the American Bazaar. It's always bizarre. Suspected Chinese hackers target U.S. trade talks with malware. It appears China may be playing dirty with the Trump administration. What a surprise. The Wall Street Journal reported Sunday that U.S. authorities are investigating a bogus email purportedly from a Republican lawmaker that contained malware apparently aimed at giving China insights into the administration's trade talks with Beijing. Malware, short for malicious software, refers to any software designed to harm, exploit, or otherwise compromise computers, networks, or devices. According to the journal, the malware-laden email, which appears to be sent by Representative John Molinar, was distributed in July to U.S. trade groups, law firms, and government agencies. Cyber analysts traced it to a hacker group known as APT41, believed to be working on behalf of the Chinese intelligence. The journal said the first malware email was sent just before the U.S. trade talks in Sweden that led to an extension of truce and tariffs until early November. So there you go. We're still getting these type of attacks. And the Chinese, they are just, why do we screw with these people? Why do we screw with them? Basically, because I think they have all our medications and they have a lot of rare earth minerals, and they have what else? Oh, yes, they have all these goods they produce. So, but this is a problem that needs to be addressed, and I kind of think it needs to be addressed a little strongly. I'm not sitting there on the inside, so maybe I don't know enough, but it does seem like that should be handled a little deeper. All right. So that's another story that's out there. But the one story I really did want to talk about is this idea that the Justice Department is talking about banning transgender gun owners sparks a fury across the political spectrum. We have a constitution. Now, people can go through a court process to have somebody declared incompetent to be able to have a gun. That is true. But just because somebody is transgender, actually, from an interest standpoint, they say they're not recognizing, the federal government is not recognizing there's only two sexes. I mean, even though in newspaper articles, all the news media, there's plenty of it out there is plenty of discussion about it. But should they be able to take a group of people and say, you can't own a gun? I think that the Constitution is strongly against doing something like that. And according to the article here from the AP, the Justice Department is drawing swift condemnation from gun rights group and LGBTQ. Now, isn't that interesting that you could put gun groups and the LGBTQ groups in one group saying that they are against what the federal government is talking about? That is unique, folks. You got to admit. Think about it. So they're floating the idea was considering restricting transgender people from owning guns, a move that would all but certainly face immediate constitutional challenges if ever implemented. It came after the shooting of the Minnesota Catholic school last month that federal officials have said was carried out by a transgender shooter. The person who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss internal deliberation cautioned the talks were in the early stages and that no proposal had been finalized. This is crazy talk. Regardless of what you think or anything else, this is crazy talk. So even so that high level of officials in the Trump administration were discussing such an idea sparked a lot of fury across the political spectrum. LGBTQ advocates called it misguided and dangerous, as the vast majority of mass shootings in the U.S. are carried out by men and do not involve transgender people. Transgender people are less than 2% of the overall population, yet 4 times as likely to be victims of crime, was said by an organization called GLAAD. Everyone deserves to be themselves, be safe, and be free from violence and discrimination. So, that's a little bit about that. What do you think about that idea? I think that is a terrible idea. I don't, that is targeting a specific group, saying that they cannot have a gun. I don't know. We're going over the line. That's one toke over the line, folks. You got any comments about it? 864-332-9355. That's our new call in or text back line that you can get to us, 864-332-9355. You can also call on the Legacy line, 864-229-7984, 864-229-7984. Hey, I'm Ann Eller. What you thinking about? What's going on here this morning? Kind of interesting discussion here about the news of the day. Of course, there is local news. I don't know any. Got any rumors out there? Got anything going on that's cool to talk about? I don't know. I didn't do a good job looking at all that last night, but I did think that some of these stories do need to be discussed, because I tell you what worries me. What worries me is the very fact that they're having these discussions, if they are. Now, the problem with our society right now is anybody can say anything, and the media goms onto it like it's the best thing since, to use an old phrase, sliced bread. But we don't know the truth. And of course, I don't think and as long as nothing is brought to the floor for the House or the Senate, or Trump doesn't sign an executive order and it's not really a big topic of discussion, I don't think you can, it carries much weight. But it was on a lot of talk shows this weekend, it was a big topic of discussion. And I find it frightening if that is something. You know, coming up on next Wednesday is Constitution Day, And I think I just saw, we have a great show planned for next Monday. Looks like we're going to have Dr. Rollins from Lander University over the community lecture series at Lander as a yes, and Dr. Roush as a maybe. I think we'll see what they have to say, but we're going to do a show about the Constitution. I think this is important. This is important stuff to talk about. What is the Constitution? Why did it get to be the way it was? And how important is it in today's world? Well, it's the basis of everything that we have going on. And it is amazing, I think, when you think about the Constitution, that 250 years ago, that a group of men were able to sit down and come up with a Constitution, and they didn't have a woman in the room at all to help them. I think that is pretty amazing. It is pretty amazing. And that it is still relevant today, that we still hold these truths, that there are inalienable rights. I mean, these things still ring out. So Constitution Day is September 17th. There is going to be there's going to be two great programs. There's a lot of great programs coming up. This Saturday over in Abbeville, they are doing Voices Voices of the Revolution, maybe. There's a program over there on Saturday. I'll have more information on that tomorrow, but that's pretty cool, right? Then on Constitution Day, or is it the Constitution? Yeah, on Constitution Day, Lander is bringing in these two really famous gentlemen that will be discussing the Constitution. They've gone all over the nation and maybe overseas, but I know they've gone all over the nation. I don't have their name, but it is going to be a fascinating show about the Constitution. And one thing is for sure, we all need to know more about the Constitution. Our children need to know more about the Constitution. So I am bringing this show. We'll be doing it Monday afternoon, and I think when you hear this, you're going to say, I need to go. But Abbeville is doing this great program on Saturday. There's going to be a lot of programs going on around this time because of Constitution Day. So let's see if we can find that real quick. See if I can find that for you and bring that to you, because I just think we don't think enough about it. We have all these other things we'd rather be doing, right? But we don't actually get involved in things that give us the liberty to be able to do it. And I think that sure is a problem. So that's coming up this Saturday over there in Abbeville. We'll have more information on that tomorrow, but that's going to be a good day. There are a lot of fun things going on right here in Greenwood. Let's see if I can pull up some of them. They're going to be having a game day at the marketplace. I think that's this Saturday. I was looking all over the place last night to find information. I think that was one of the things that I saw. That was pretty fun. Of course, Clemson will be playing. Their kickoff is at noon. They start at the pregame at 9 o'clock on Saturday morning. So that's going to be pretty darn interesting. So let's see if we got some of these things that I can share with you today. We're going to go back. We'll go back and find that one. But we're coming up on a year of the hurricane, and the South Carolina Office of Resilience still is offering disaster case management. So if you are in need of help from throughout the recovery, if you need some personalized plans, and if you need help with the long run, they are doing all this kind of stuff for anybody that was impacted by the hurricane. So if you've got questions about what to do, how to get started, what you need, you can call 803-898-2511. That's 803-898-2511. I know for the most part we kind of think that the hurricane we're in pretty good shape, but there's a lot of people out there that are still suffering. People that lived on the outskirts and this type of thing have a lot of damage. They haven't even been able to get any help on getting that. So if you are still in need of assistance after Hurricane Helene, they've got case managers to work directly with impacted residents to help them find and connect with available resources and support. So call 803-898-2511. 898-2511. That's 803-898-2511. That is definitely, the state, I think, really stepped up when it came to doing the type of work that needed to be done. And that's the function of government, to help citizens in times of need. That's right. Okay, September 8th through the 13th, enjoy a Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit on us. You can get a spicy or regular in the app. So that is going That's going on. Download or sign in to your Chick-fil-A app while you're in the upstate or Asheville area from September 8th through the 13th and receive one free Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit or spicy chicken biscuit. So you got to have the app, but it is free. And that was posted by Greenwood. So Greenwood is participating, I do believe. Well, it says upstate South Carolina, and then, yes, it has Greenwood here. So, yes, the Greenwood Chick-fil-A is participating. Get a free Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit on us. That's what it says. Now, this is the thing I was talking about that I thought was so cool. Uptown, September 13th from 10 to 5. Game day energy, tailgate treats, and local treasures. This Saturday, they're going to have Clemson on the big screen, plus Uptown Fall fun. Uptown Fall kickoff is back Saturday from 10 to 5, and it's bringing the Clemson game at noon. Starts at 10, but the Clemson game will be on at noon. They'll have local food trucks that tackle your tailgate cravings. Well, that's kind of tickles the ivories, doesn't it? Yes. All your favorite uptown shops open and ready for fall games and browsing. They'll have lawn games, good vibes, and even better, people watching. Oh, people watching is back. Bring a chair, bring your team spirit, bring your appetite, leave with a full belly, a shopping bag, and maybe a new game day tradition. So this is something they're doing at the market this Saturday from 10 to 5. So if you're not wanting to travel and you just want to be able to stay and enjoy it right here in town and be outside in this beautiful weather, well, then you'll have to check that out at the Uptown Market, Now, this is something I didn't know was going on. Future Viking cheerleaders are here for the cheers. They're having a magical Future Vikings cheer camp. That is this Saturday from 9 to 12. Parent showcase at 11 to 11:30. Pre-game performance Friday, September 13th or September 19th at 6:30. But I believe they're doing the same thing at Greenwood High, and their performance is going to be this Friday at the Greenwood High game. So that's pretty cool. Talk about getting everybody involved. That certainly is a way to get people involved. So, just a few of the things that I know. This is another one that I know that was out there in the news. They're having a road closure notice this Saturday, September 13th. In support of the Here for a Reason 5K, please be advised the following temporary road closure. This is from the Greenwood Police Department. Road closure location, Edgefield Street from the detention center to just before South Main Baptist Church. Closure times, road closed at 8 a.m., race begins at 9 a.m., road reopens at 11. Spring Street will be used as the detour for residents in the affected area. An important thing for residents of Edgefield Street: if you need to leave during the closure, please speak with a volunteer wearing a yellow vest or a police officer. They will assist you in exiting the venue properly. It says our main priority is the safety of all adults and children participating in this community event. So that's from the Greenwood Police Department. So that is another important event to know about. That is this Saturday. And also coming up on Friday night, here's another event. I'm loaded with events. It is Foster the Beat for the concert. This is going to be over at Legacy Church over there by the hospital. The concert isn't just about music. It's about giving kids in foster and kinship care the chance to feel seen, supported, and loved. Tickets for general admission are just $25. Kids from, under 9 is free, and then there is another price point. I think it's $10, and there may be another price point. But anyways, it's designed to make it family friendly. Every ticket sold goes directly to help children in our community. Last week we had Ellen Reeder and Justo from over there at United Way on talking about a Voice for the Children's Foundation. Certainly a well worth organization. They work with the Guardian Ad Litem program, helping when children need things that are in foster care and the foster family can't afford to or maybe shouldn't have to provide things. They provide everything from helping with food to maybe an instrument, so a child can be learning to play an instrument. But they are there to provide the things that children need that end up in kinship care. Is really a boondoggle. Kinship care means that a child that needs to be removed from the home goes and lives with a family member. The good thing about kinship care is it keeps a child in the family. That's the good news. The bad news is the state doesn't recognize it as that it is anything that the state should pay for. So, for example, we have grandparents, we have sisters, brothers, aunts, and uncles taking children when they have to be removed from the family, feeling so torn because they know it's the right thing to do, they want to do it, but they may not be able to afford it. So that's where a Voice for the Children Foundation comes in to help. Now, FYI, a family, if it's going to be a long-term, can become certified. But as Ellen said, Ellen Reeder, she said the procedure to get your house just certified to be able to take a child into it, she goes, is just horrible. Now, the advantage is if you're taking a child for long term, that will alleviate some of the issues of cost, because if a kinship family is certified, then they do get funding from the state. But she said it's very, very difficult. I wanted to talk about this a little bit because I think it is so important. Over the years, I have helped some with this organization, A Voice for the Children Foundation. It is a worthwhile organization, and it certainly helps children at times where they really could use some comfort. So the Guardian Ad Litem program is the program that is the voice for the child in some of these, in any of these type of situations. But a Voice for the Children's Foundation provides money to help with getting the things that children need to feel comfortable and feel like someone cares. And there is nothing more important than that. So this concert is going to have a lot of great, all different genres of music. It's all family friendly, so you can bring your 5-year-old, you can bring your 4-year-old and feel good about it. Every ticket goes directly to help children in our community. And music brings the people together. It's inspiring, so it's called Foster the Beat. And I think it's pretty darn terrific. I hope you will look at that program on Friday night and say you'd like to do that. Doors open at 5:30. It is from 6 to 10. It's at the Legacy City Church, which is 1560 Parkway Road right here in Greenwood. And Freddie McClendon's going to be performing. The Chocolate Crackers are going to be performing. Justo Schiller and Bo Fisher, Audrey Adams, and Pope and Bert. So as you see, this lineup, and the tickets are how much, Ann? Just $25. But this is the artists that are working this are donating, and so you know that they feel very strongly about this too. So it's Foster the Beat. It is Friday night. They have a Facebook page for A Voice for the Children Foundation. I believe there's also excuse me. Oh, my throat's getting dry. What's going on? Don't you love it when the seasons change and your sinuses and everything get used to everything? Anyways, Freddie McClendon, Chocolate Crackers, Justo Shalair and Bo Fisher, Audrey Adams and Pope and Bird are all performing at this event. They really want to raise some serious money to be able to help this group help children in need. Very worthwhile. I think you can. Oh, goodness, sorry. So please make sure that if you can go to that event, it is a great one. If you'd like more information about this organization, Thomas Thompson is the board chair. 864-344-3464. If you'd like to make a donation in some way, if you'd like to get involved in help, they certainly would appreciate it. 864-344-3464. And this is a 501c3 registered charity. So see what you can do to help that. That would be great. All right, so that's going on Friday night. Of course, also Friday night is the Shantan and the Cheeseburger in Paradise. In fact, Fat Daddy's going to be there fixing cheeseburger sliders. And he's also doing a fancy island taco. So there'll be snow cones there. This is a family-friendly event, too, on Friday night, brought to you by Greenwood Performing Arts. It is from... The concert starts at 7 to 9 at the Uptown Market. Margarita Magic with Shantan and the Oyster Reefers. So that's going to be a great event. Tickets for that are $40 if you'd like the complete margarita event with a tequila tasting and appetizers being served over at Good Times Brewing. Then that will be an additional $60, but the basic package, $40, and children are free. Children are free. So FYI, just wanted you to know about that one. And this week we are taking Shannon Tanner into the schools to perform some uplifting educational music and a few Jimmy Buffett songs and maybe a little bit about what it was like to live in the island. That's right, down there in Key West and everything. Because, we're just celebrating, not celebrating, but mourning the fact that Jimmy Buffett left us a year ago, September 1st. So it's very, very well timed. In closing, I do want to mention one other thing. I want to mention... Where's my little sheet on this? They are having a stand down on October 1st. On October 1st, right here at Emmanuel Lutheran Church. Excuse me, I'll be right back. I thought I had it right here. All right, hold on a second. I'll get it. Just give me 1 second. Penny's saying, are we leaving? Hallelujah. Here we go. Can I get it? Yes, I can. Here we go. All right, so here you go. This is Facebook Live, so I'm in the picture, I'm out of the picture. Veterans stand down for any veteran that needs help. This is going to be October 1st from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Emmanuel Lutheran Church, 501 East Cresswell Avenue. Any veteran can be part of this. Bring your DD-214, your VA card or ID card. They are going to be doing free haircuts. Hey! Free lunches, and you can get a lot of services there. If you've been trying to get help with VA enrollment, Penny, I'm almost done. This is a great opportunity. If you know somebody that needs help, you don't need help, bring a veteran. There's going to be free lunch, free haircuts, and all kinds. Over 30 different organizations will be there to help veterans. Well, Penny's telling me it's time for me to go. So, just like Gracie used to tell me it was time to go, now Penny is telling me it's time to go. I hope you have a great day today. Get outside and enjoy this gorgeous weather. That, my friends, is going to do it for me right here on WCRS. Yes, I got it. Okay, so bye-bye, everybody. Penny has made it plain. We're out of here. Take it away. Cue the music and...